Hey guys, Daz here from Total Reformation. Now on today's video blog, I'm going to show you a slight alternative variation to preparing bone broth. Now if you haven't seen one of our really old videos, how to make bone broth and why it's so good for you, go and check it out now. It's had quite a few views and it sort of gives you a real basic way of actually using both chicken as well as some vegetables and talking about metabolic typing and how it all works together for our overall health. But I thought I'd today show you this video of how we've been doing it lately, which is a little bit more time effective and doesn't involve too much hands-on, whereas the other ones do. We're in a bit more of a faster paced world these days, so if we can help you guys out, then obviously you guys are going to get a lot of benefits from it. So what we've been doing lately is we've been slow cooking our chicken. Now make sure it is a good quality organic free range. We use a Milua, which is just a local one, and you can definitely tell the difference in the chook, both with the taste, but also too, the strength of the bones, the cartilage, the ligaments, the tendons, and all that sort of stuff. So we will use slow cooker, beautiful, slow cooked. You can throw all your veggies in. You never lose any goodness, any of the nutrients when you use slow cookers. That's why they're so good and they're so cheap. You can get them now for like $20, $30 anywhere and they never break down. So they're awesome. So we've slow cooked our chicken. We've actually had a beautiful meal. Saturday nights is our roast night. So we have veggies, roast chicken, beautiful. We'll eat it up. We save all the bones. And then what we do is we keep it to the side just to cool. We will add a whole lot of water to it and we vary, just depends on how many I want to make for that week. What I'll do then is I'll also add a little bit of apple cider vinegar. You can still use your white wine like the old video says. It's completely up to you. You can even use some lemon juice if you want to. The whole idea of that is to help pull apart the bones and start extracting all the goodness that's in those bones. Then what we do is then we place it outside. We're lucky we're in a place that has a beautiful outdoor area because it can get a little bit smelly. I've had a lot of people say to me, I don't want to do my bone broth inside because it stinks. Fair call. Put it outside, and we did a really long, slow sort of cook of the bones. I actually did this last one for about, I think it was about 10 hours. So with chicken, you'd probably want to do minimum of 8, and you can sort of go up, ideally around the 12-hour mark is fantastic. If you're doing any other bones like beef bones or pork or fish, everything's going to be a little bit different in terms of the time. So we'll be able to help you out with that sort of stuff. Okay, so what we've done is we've slow cooked it. We've brought it back in and I'm just going to show you what I do. This is so quick and easy. Again, I used to put vegetables in it as well. I'm not going to do that this time because what I've been doing for my meals, especially my morning meals, and there is another video which you can watch which is all about breakfast on the run. I actually add all my veggies to it in the morning. So really all I'm looking for at the moment is just the broth, just the bone broth. So this is pretty much what we're doing. So I have got chicken bones. We're just going to quickly extract the chicken bones out of there along with any of the scum that's formed and anything else that's been in there from the veggies and stuff. That's another good little trick about doing it in the slow cooker. So we're just going to slowly get out. And the idea is, you know, when you've cooked it long enough, because the bones should just fall apart, at least at the joints. That's one of the most important things to look for. If it's still quite whole, you probably haven't cooked it for long enough. And also too, if you don't get any gelatin that forms. So once you've put your bone broth in the fridge after all this, and if there's no gelatin, usually it means either there was too much water or we didn't cook it long enough. So today I'm just going to actually just place them in a bag just to show you what we're doing. You can reuse the bones. And I've been doing a little bit of research as to what you can do with the bones after you use them. There's so much stuff. I've read and heard so many things. Some people use them again for another whole broth. Some people actually, when the bones get really soft and tender, they then break it down. So in like a food processor or a Vitamix or something. So you basically turned it into like a little bit of a powder and you can use that in a meal if you want to go that far. Obviously you'll have a little bit of a weird texture and knowing you're having bones. I've even heard that some people like to then use that in a feed back to the chickens again. It's completely up to you. It's all good. And the idea is that we don't want to be wasting any food, especially when it comes to animal products. You know, there's a living being. It's a living thing, I should say. Let's see if we can look after it. So I've just scooped that out. I'm just going to keep it in there for now, and we can do a whole lot of other stuff with that later. So I'm just going to move that out the way. So I've got rid of the chunky bone bits, and then we're going to actually just get the rest of it into our little jug, which we store in the fridge. Easy pour the next morning or whenever you need it. But just to make sure we can get rid of all the other bits that's floating in there, what I do is I just grab myself a strainer, and I'll get a bit of muslin cloth. This has been used, a little bit of dirt on there, and just put an elastic band around it. And I'll just get a little jug. This is how easy we do it. I'll just get rid of that. Cool. We grab our whole dish. Now, I've done this a couple of times, so I'm used to it. Of course, you can make it a bit easier if you want to by finding something else or getting some help. And just very slowly pour it in. Just do little bits at a time. And I don't know if you can see that, but just the muslin cloth is just collecting all the other chunks and bits that we, don't really, or we can have. There's nothing bad about it. That's just easier for when you're serving. Look at that. And that just beautifully strains it through. And then from that, we take it in to our here. And this is the trick not to spill any. This is like gold. You don't want to waste any. So we have competitions to see who can get. I'm like, oh, there it goes. Under pressure. So basically, this is what we do then. And I've only strained it once. I haven't had to worry about my veggies and pulling my veggies out and straining my veggies and all that. Which, to be honest, sometimes I used to always either throw them out or put them into compost or something. I never really ate them. So the whole idea now is that in the morning, I've got a nice strong bone broth ready to go for my breakfast. I love bone broth for breakfast, and I pre-prepare all my veggies. Again, check out the video. We've got quite a few up at the moment. That goes into the fridge, super easy. Look at the goldness in there already. That is because when I cook my roast chicken on the weekend, I'll actually add all my turmerics and gingers and all my herbs and spices to the meal, which means all the juices that just naturally form in the bottom of the slow cooker has all that in it. So in a way, I've kind of already done a little bit of sort of pre-seasoning and a little bit of herbs and stuff like that too. So that's in there, in the fridge. I walk out in the morning, half asleep, ready to go to work, and all I do is just throw it all together, a quick little reheat on the stove, and off I go. Very, very simple. So, organic free-range chicken, cook yourself a beautiful roast meal with all your vegetables in it. The next day, do a long, slow-cooked bone broth in the slow cooker. You haven't had to do anything because all the juices are still in there. Get rid of the bones for the while, and you can have a bit of a research to see what you can do to them if you don't want to be so wasteful with the bones. Strain it through muslin cloth into a thing, nice beautiful jug into the fridge, and you're ready to go. That's just a little alternative to the other bone broth. I find it a little bit quicker, a little bit easier, and we love it when life gets a little bit easier. So stay tuned for some more information or some more recipes. We've got a whole lot coming your way. Speak to you guys soon. Bye.